All right, I need help figuring out why I've lost interest in Battlefield 6. Last weekend, I loved it. I was obsessed with it. I was sad when it went away. I haven't felt that way about kind of a beta or a whatever marketing test in a very long time. And I was very excited to get up Thursday and play the second weekend. And I went from being very excited, almost not even almost, I was gonna buy it. The only reason I didn't pre-order it is because it didn't really come with anything that excited me, so I figured I'll just wait and see the reviews, you never know. And I'm glad I waited, not that I couldn't have canceled my pre-order, but there is something that has happened in this second weekend, and I'm really yeah, I'm a little frustrated by it because I was excited, but I'm also fascinated by what it is. And at first, I was going to let it go because I thought, well, it's probably just because people have played a lot more now. They're better. Like, I couldn't see enemies that well this weekend. Uh, I understand I'm not very good at these kind of games, but I mean, I was getting one shot at or at what seemed like one shot, but then the damage readout would say I'd gotten hit 4 or 5 times. I would hit guys clearly more than that, and they wouldn't go down. Um, and and again, it really felt like last week was that real nice sweet spot between going. It's not run and gun like Call of Duty, but it's not like Rainbow Six or SWAT where every corner could be death. It was this nice little blend. And this weekend, I'm just kind of like, what the fuck is going on? I even when I try to play very carefully, I'm like, where did that guy come from? Boom, dead, right? And it just lost a lot of its thrill for me. And so, like I said, at first I thought it was me. And then I saw this tweet last night from Battlefield Intel, and they were asking people, are you going to buy the game or what do you think or whatever? And I was surprised in a good way because now I'm more like compelled to figure it out. Maybe that's why I'm making this video. Do you know? This one guy says, I don't know. Weekend two of the beta is kind of buns and the controller settings aren't great. Okay, fine. So implying that he liked weekend one, but not weekend two. But then there's more of it. First weekend was great, very close to pre-ordering. This weekend, something is off. People are running around with weird aim and defibs, one-shot killing, and snipers with massive scopes or one-shot headshotting from 5 meters away. Um, this guy wrote, after the second beta, I'm having second thoughts. Something about weekend two of the beta feels off. The first weekend was great. Totally agree. Um, and so some people are saying, oh, it's because they added skill-based matchmaking. Now, if you listen to the developers, skill-based matchmaking has always been in there, but at least in last weekend, but it was like down on the list. It was like ping was number one, and there was like two other things, and then they brought in skill. Now, maybe this is what's really interesting. It's like, because I've done beta tests before, and I've done live service beta tests before. Not this is a service game, you know what I'm saying? Like ongoing games. And you want to turn the knobs every fucking second. Because like, oh, you like this? Do you like this more? But you have to be real careful, right? So maybe even the weird part is you would think if they brought skill-based matchmaking higher in the criteria, it would be even better because you'd be put into matches with people that were more uh, equal to your skill, unless they were kind of saying, great guy on this team, there has to be a great guy on this team. Shit guy, average guy, average guy. And so in that sense, maybe that's how they were doing it this weekend, but not last weekend. So both weekends had skill based, but the logic in terms of what, like how many average versus great they allowed in, I have no clue. So they fucked with the nose knobs, maybe. People are talking about the some of the weapons either having different hit collision. I don't think there's hit scan weapons in this game in terms of you fire and it just, if you had the reticle on them, it hits. I believe I could be wrong, but almost every bullet is being calculated to some degree versus where it takes a second to get to you. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. I've done like Drawn to Death. We had hit scan weapons and we had weapons that were clearly you could dodge them, but those were really slow. But people have said that. People have said skill based. People have said the collision on the enemies. Maybe they've tuned up the sniper rifles or because I'm not just getting killed by sniper rifles though. So the one thing that's really interesting now, and I don't know what the stats are going to be on weekend two. I have fallen off. Clearly, there are others that have fallen off. If you played both, did you notice anything? Do you care? Was it enough to make you fall off and say, I don't want this now? Kind of like what I'm thinking. Because if I'm EA and there are enough people that are like, ooh, we don't like this, do they just go, okay, that's what we were testing. We didn't want to tell anybody. If you guys remember, Call of Duty did skill-based matchmaking removed from certain games, and you never knew if you were put in that pool. And sure enough, people were leaving in droves of those games because as much as people complain about skill-based matchmaking, when it's tuned right, it keeps you feeling that the game's competitive. So I don't know if they're like, okay, we knew we had it with 1, we had to fuck with 2 to make sure it's going to be 1. Or now are they going, shit, we thought this was the way to tune it. We need another beta before this thing comes out in October? I hope so. I did hear they were going to be messing with time to kill, but I think they said they were going to be making time to kill you'd last a little longer. Whether the weapons did a little less damage, you had a little more hit points, same thing for the most part. I don't know what it is. But now if I'm that team, unless I am of a kind of barely vocal minority and I'm just finding, confirmation bias, but most people love it. If I'm that team, I'd be going, okay, wait, what are we learning from these 2 betas other than the net code and, the server hits and all the shit that is just, pure technical. But at a design level, what are we learning and how are we going to adjust based on the data we got from 1 and 2? I really think if it were me, I would be pushing for a third, assuming that I am in enough of a minority that it's going to matter. But maybe not. That's why one of the reasons I made this video. Did you notice it? If you did notice it, can you articulate in a more convincing way than I am, because I'm just guessing and reading shit, why it doesn't play as well, why it's not as compelling and fun? Or if it's like, no, dude, it's the same fucking game. What are you talking about? Then great. Then it may just be people got really good and I can't hang with it anymore and I'm back to Call of Duty. But I sure did enjoy it last weekend and I'd like to think I can hang in there and maybe they'll do some tuning. Let me know in the comments genuinely. Usually people say that they don't care. I'm going to hunt for information. Please help me understand what is going on. Thank you.